Hello. In this session, we are going to talk about crypto market narratives. I've spoken at length about narratives and referred to them, but not spent time as I would in this session to go through on the narratives that are currently prevailing in the early stages of 2025. So we will look at these narratives on a number of key important elements. One, it will be the adoption. Two, we will talk about the interest, that is the market interest on the narrative. We will talk about the volume and then any other matter of interest on that narrative. For an example, we'll start off with talking about the meme coins. So the meme coins, if you look at it from the adoption standpoint, the meme coin has been highly adopted by the market, and especially from the retail investors who are looking to gain quick profits, as well as also the cultural engagement. Because in the third and fourth quarter of 2024, the meme coins did very well, but really in the year 2024, they did far better than they did in 2023. So that's why there is this high interest in terms of the adoption. But on the interest side, again, we said the interest is extremely high and it's due to viral marketing as well as the community's involvement. And you already see in the meme coin, you've got specific communities that really believe into the meme coins that are part and parcel of their investment or part and parcel of their bags, as we would call it. The use cases, they vary on meme coins. Like I've said, some of them, they are speculative investment, and some, they are for community building. And those explore broader application, as I was saying in the previous episodes. And in those broader applications, it's looking at things like charity or gaming. And the volume, if you look at the volume, there has been significant trading volume on meme coins during the peaks and driven by social media trends. And those social media trends really is what would make some of these meme coins popular, like I had to say them. So the meme coins are known for their volatility, and they are highly influenced by social media narratives. So social media campaigns or social media talks or social media shilling, if there are people that are really influencing on those meme coins. So that's the meme coins. Secondly, we will talk then about artificial intelligence. The adoption of AI is growing. AI seems to be gaining popularity the more and more there is the introduction of new AI ways of doing things, whether it's the large language models that are coming through and other forms of artificial intelligence, but especially around trading. And therefore, protocols such as Fetch AI, they are gaining traction, and Virtual's protocol is also gaining traction. On the interest side, the interest remains high, like I've said, because there's this potential of having AI in decentralized finance, in gaming, and as well as in analytics. The use cases, they are wide ranging, from autonomous trading platforms, market analysis, smart contracts automation, as well as personalized finance advice. On volume, at the moment, it's moderate but increasing. The volumes of trade in AI, as AI projects are starting to attract investment for their technological promise. On other, AI crypto projects are seen as innovators, potentially revolutionizing how transactions are being done, especially in the data that is handled on the blockchain. So there's this promise that AI will assist in terms of automated trading. In the past, we had bots And there was huge interest in the crypto market in terms of acquire those trading bots. They will be able to trade on certain matrices, but artificial intelligence now seems to be better than the bots because there is a level of permutation that can be automated through artificial intelligence. The third narrative that we want to talk about, real world assets. The adoption on the real world assets, what we have noticed is that it's increasing in line with the traditional finance sectors exploring tokenization. So the more the traditional financial sector is exploring tokenization, that's where we're seeing the real world assets now starting to increase their adoption. The interest is rising with investors seeking stability through asset-backed tokens. And the use cases are tokenizing real-world assets like real estate, art, commodities to increase liquidity and accessibility. On the volume is still moderate, but there is a potential for growth as more assets are being tokenized. On other facts that may be available around them, well, this narrative is about bridging the traditional financing with decentralized finance, offering tangible backing of crypto investments with real-world assets. The fourth narrative we want to talk about is the Solana ecosystem. The adoption is very notable on Solana, particularly for its scalability and low transaction fees that are attracting developers. And we spoke about this. And this has been the challenge that the layer one, such as Ethereum, has had, is that the gas fees or the transaction fees are very expensive. And Solana came in with low transaction fees. However, there were challenges in the beginning with Solana on the number of transactions that are done in the blockchain. And the improvement that has come through now, you've got the longest period that Solana transactions have taken place without disruption or on the ecosystem. The interest is very high. In the bull market that we've seen in the previous year, 2024, and also beginning from November 2023, Solana really started to accumulate. And we've seen the token going all the way close to about $300 US. Currently, it was sitting at around $187 US. And therefore, there is a huge promise with regards to the Solana token. And therefore, the trading on Solana is the adoption is very high. And in terms of the use cases, it has use cases in decentralized financing, in gaming, in non-fungible tokens, the NFTs. And now there is a huge transaction on the Solana ecosystem on meme coins. So there are meme coins that are Solana ecosystem based that have been traded in the past. With regards to volume, significant, especially with the meme coins trend. And then on other, it's known for its speed and efficiency. As I had said, Solana has become a hub of new projects looking to scale. The fifth narrative is decentralized physical infrastructure, DePIN. The adoption is moderate on DePIN, with projects like Helium driving the early adoption in specific use cases. Interest, it's increasing as the narrative connects physical infrastructure with blockchain incentives. So use cases, the networks for decentralized telecommunications, energy, or any other physical infrastructure where participants are rewarded for providing resources. And that's where really DePIN is assisting. And then on volume, so the volume has been lower compared to others, but the potential for growth is getting more and more as real-world applications are being developed. The sixth narrative is decentralized science, dScience. So dScience, the adoption is emerging, still new. Projects like VitaDAO are leading the narrative, and the interest is still growing, as I'm saying, particularly among those who are interested in open source science and research funding. The use cases, funding scientific researchers, managing the intellectual property rights, as well as creating platforms for transparency and collaborative science. The ranking of the research that is being done in that narrative becomes very key because then it allows for the collaboration and the adoption of decentralized science. The volume is currently low at the moment, but the narrative could see a significant growth because you are looking at the innovators, whether it's the academia side, researchers, or researchers within the application side or within the corporate or business side. And on other, DeSci represents a shift towards democratizing research or science funding, as well as starting to utilize now blockchain technology as a platform on which research is done. The seventh narrative is layer 1 and layer 2 solutions. And layer 1, like Ethereum, has widespread adoption, but layer 2 solutions are gaining attraction for scalability because scalability is a limitation on Solana, as much as we're also talking about the gas fees. But we know that the Solana developers are working on this, and there is a hard fork that is close by that is expected. Not sure of the date. I will check and then I'll provide more information on that. The interest really is high for both layer 1 and layer 2. And the use cases, it's enhancing the transaction speeds, as we are talking about, reducing the cost of the gas fees, as well as improving the blockchain interoperability. Volume, if Ethereum remains one of the highest layer 1 on which the transactions are taking place, and the layer 2 solutions are seeing an increasing volume on projects like Polygon, Matrix, and Optimism. Out of the critical element of the broader adoption of blockchain, it's being solved through these layer 2 solutions that are coming in and allowing the blockchain communication or adoption or utility in between the tokens and the inter-ecosystem trades. The last one is gaming or GameFi. And the adoption is moderate because it focuses on play to earn. So you play the games, but then you earn rewards around it. And the interest seems to be high among gamers and investors interested in intersection of gaming and crypto. There is a huge interest from those gamers because they understand the potential of crypto and the blockchain technology for them to make money. But now you could play the games that they normally enjoy with crypto, and therefore you could earn. In terms of the use cases, the integration of blockchain into in-game economies, asset ownership, and monetization of gameplay, we are seeing these as the use cases for GameFi. The volume fluctuates. It depends on the popular games that are being launched, and generally they see high volume during bull markets. So when you have a bull market, GameFi is one of those narratives that tend to have a benefit from the bull market. But however, if there are popular games that are coming into the market, there seems to be a good adoption of the popular games that come into the market. There are still challenges that GameFi is facing, more especially around the regulatory side, as well as the sustainability of the tokens that are being used, or the tokenomics of the tokens that offer these innovative ways of playing games. So these are the 8 narratives that I wanted to just talk about and provide an example of what are the things when you look at a narrative that should give you some sense of where you should do your research on a narrative. So you have to look at adoption. You have to look at the use cases. You have to look at what the interest is. You have to look at the volume. So really it's those 4, if I were to put an advice and say these are the key 4s to look at. But then on your other, you can then look at any other potential issues of interest. And those potential issues of interest, for an example, if you're looking at meme coins as a narrative, but in the other, you want to be clear, you are looking at the meme coins that are operating on which ecosystem. So you may find that you are interested in the meme coins that are operating on the Solana ecosystem. Most of these ecosystems seem to be introducing the meme coins that are aligned with them. For an example, there's a meme coin called Bread. Now, Bread saw a lot of interest because it's a native meme coin for the Coinbase ecosystem. So Coinbase has been an exchange for a while, and that exchange has had a number of users. So you've got a captive market in the Coinbase ecosystem, and therefore when it started to then offer the meme coin Bread saw a huge adoption, just the same way as in the Solana ecosystem, when Solana started to introduce its own meme coins, whether it's with dog with head, whether it's Doge, Trump, you name the popcat, you name the memes that have run on the Solana ecosystem, and then they've had that positive adoption based on the fact that you've got already a captive customer base in that ecosystem. So these are the benefits that in your analysis, as you look at the narratives, you've got to have this other thing that drives this narrative. And therefore, that other thing that drives the narrative, it could be things such as the developers that are adopting this narrative ecosystem. It could be the use cases. For an example, if you look at Cardano has just introduced now a contract that has been approved by Argentinian government where their legal system would also use smart contracts, and those will be a legal tender in Argentina as approved by government in the contract that has been done with Cardano. In Ethiopia, it's the same thing. There is an adoption in Ethiopia, an agreement that was made between Cardano and the Ethiopian government in terms of putting the higher education qualification or tertiary qualifications onto the Cardano blockchain, which then gives this benefit that the qualifications are not bogus. They are not qualifications that are not worth what they are written on, because they are on a blockchain, on a smart contract, and therefore they are easily verifiable and they are easily traceable, because in the blockchain, that's what the blockchain provides, some of the benefits of what it has. So I hope today I've been able to deal in this episode with this thing narrative, because I use these words narrative, and it becomes important to understand what do you mean about the narratives in crypto. And the 8 that I've just spoken about, it's the narratives that in early 2025 have been the dominant narratives, or the narratives that are in the purview of a number of traders. I hope this makes sense, and I hope this assists and helps you. But if there are questions, please feel free to make comments down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next episode. Wishing you all the best. Cheers. Bye.